All right, so now we've done data visualization for a quantitative variable, and we're going to start thinking about summary statistics for a quantitative variable. Last week when we were doing categorical variables, we only had one function that we could use, that was tally. This week we've got lots and lots of functions that we could use to compute statistics about a quantitative variable. And most of them have pretty reasonable function names. So the mean you find using the function mean, median, standard deviation is SD, max, min, IQR, all lowercase. A 5-number summary you can do with fivenum. And then there's a function that I like, which is the favorite statistics, favstats. That'll give you a nice overview of a whole variable. And these functions are going to use the formula syntax, just like the GF underscore functions and things like tally. And we're going to start thinking about summary statistics of one quantitative variable. So we're just going to do tilde and then our variable. So we're going to do this with number of hours worked last week. We're going to take the mean of the number of hours worked last week. And so this probably isn't what we wanted. It's coming out as an NA. And that's because there are some missing values in that number of hours worked last week variable. And when R sees an NA, it says, well, if you have like 1 plus NA, that equals NA. Or if there's an NA at all in a bunch of numbers that you add up, then the sum is NA. So we might want to think, should we actually do summary statistics if half of our data is missing? But if we decide, okay, well, we still want to figure out what the mean is for the not missing data, we can use this na.rm argument, which we'll give to our summary statistic function. So again, I add more arguments, I separate them with commas. So up till here, my code is all the same. And then I'll do a comma, na.rm, meaning na remove, equals true, all caps true. So this is a logical variable type in R, and it only has two options, true, all caps, or false, all caps. And so if I click play here, now I actually get the mean out. So on average, people worked 41.28 hours a week. That kind of makes sense to me. Like overall, people are working about 40 hours a week, maybe a little bit of overtime. So then what I'd like you to do is try to find the median, not the mean, number of brothers and sisters. So this is kind of changing two things at once, but I think that you could pause the video and you'd be able to figure out how to do that. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do, instead of mean, I'm gonna type median, parentheses, and then I need a tilde for my formula, and then the name of my variable, which is number underscore of brothers and sisters, comma, data equals GSS. And I can hit play. That one gives me NA as well. So then I need to put comma, na.rm, na.rm equal in caps true, and that'll tell me the median number of brothers and sisters. So that's 3. Again, my dad is way above that, and I'm a little bit below the median. All right, what if we wanted to find the 5-number summary of the number of hours worked last week variable? See if you can figure out how to make that code and then come back. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna use the function fivenum and parentheses and then a tilde, and then it'll be number of hours worked last week, comma, data equals GSS, and we could hit play. Ooh, all 5 numbers are NA, so I need to put in that na.rm equal true. Hit play. Okay. So I don't love the fivenum function because it doesn't tell me what any of these numbers are. I have to really remember what they are, and I'm not great at doing that. But there's another function which does a similar thing, which is the favstats function. And apparently I didn't put that into this lab, but we could just hit enter and then we could write it out here. So I'm going to do favstats, favstats, and then parentheses, and then it'll be the same code. In fact, I could just copy everything that was inside those parentheses from up here and put it down here. And then if I hit the play button, I'm going to get the 5-number summary, which doesn't have labels, and then I'll get the favstats, which has more than 5 things, but it gives me a label. So the minimum was 1, the Q1 was 35, the median was 40, the Q3 was 50, and the max was 89. So that's those 5 numbers. But then it also gives me the mean and the standard deviation and the n. That's the number of objects that it actually did statistics on. So not the full number of 2348, but the non-missing data. And then it tells me the number of missing as well. So this is a really useful function. And when the lab asks you to find a 5-number summary, it's totally fine to use favstats instead of fivenum. So that's some exploratory data analysis for one quantitative variable. I think you should have all the code you need to do the real lab now, and I'll see you in synchronous class.